Hi guys, so we are going to take a closer look into the divine masculines' current energies towards their divine feminines, and we'll see if we can get some clarity basically on what they're currently thinking, what they're feeling, and any potential actions that they are going to be taking towards the divine feminine. Now, the whole point of these it's not to keep anyone stuck in a dynamic which they don't want to be stuck in, right? That's really important to get that across. This is for individuals who they are identifying their situation with the twin flame dynamic. This isn't to give any sort of advice or anything like that. It's simply just a quick look in at the current energies. Okay, so we will get this started. The divine masculine, please, towards the divine feminines. So, the zodiacs that I can see in this reading, and please do not get hung up on the zodiacs that I shout out. These, any of these could be the zodiac of the individual that you're dealing with, and they could be signs that are in your own chart, or they could indeed be in the chart of the individual that you're dealing with somewhere else other than their sun sign. So of course, unless you know their whole chart, then it's really difficult to say whether or not this following information is going to be useful for you. Also, the way that I designate zodiacs is very different from a lot of other readers that you might perhaps be used to. So to learn more about what techniques I use to read my tarot with, then that information is in the description box. Okay, so obviously don't get anything sort of twisted or caught up. Right, so we do have the overall energy is the Emperor, this Aries energy. It's also the energy for the divine masculine, which is a fantastic way to begin the divine masculine's read. We also have the Knight of Cups, which is a Piscean energy. We've got the Sun, which is the Sun energy. Again, read my description box below. Okay. So that's a card of action, right? We've got the Nine of Coins, and that is Venus in Virgo energy. We've got the Queen of Swords, and that's Libran energy. The Devil, so we've got Capricorn energy. The High Priestess is Moon, so that's water. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter, so that's fire energy. The Seven of Coins is Saturn in Taurus energy. The Eight of Cups in reverse, that's Saturn in Pisces. And the Nine of Swords is Mars in Gemini. The Six of Swords is Mercury in Aquarius. The King of Coins is Taurus energy. The Moon is more Piscean energy. And the Star, that's Aquarian. A lot of Saturn. And Saturn is the planet of restriction, pessimism and structure. Its element is Earth. So what I can garner from the planetary aspects is this particular divine masculine energy is that they're not particularly feeling it at the moment. And what I mean by that is that they're feeling quite down in the dumps at this present moment in time when it pertains to their twin flame connection. They're not feeling that they're not feeling very optimistic about it, basically. It feels that it's gotten out of control for them, and they are unsure on how to reel the connection back in. So they also feel really, really restricted here by the norms that have been put in place by society as a whole with the Emperor energy. Because while the Emperor energy, it can be read as an individual, I don't particularly like restricting energies in that way, so I'll try and pull as much information up as possible from every single card. And the Emperor, for me, it can indicate an individual. At the moment, I'm feeling this one as more of the rules that have been set in place. And the divine masculine energy is feeling really, really restricted by society's norms. So again, with this being a twin flame dynamic, there is something very, very out of the box about the connection. And it plays a much bigger part into the divine masculine's ability on how to carry this connection forward than what you would have previously anticipated. It is literally what I'm seeing in their energies. The divine masculine is very... I'm feeling this particular DM as being very stuck in their ways, and that's not always a bad thing. It really, really isn't. Again, everything's about balance. It really, really is, especially on my channel. I really do advocate balance. Everyone's got a light side, everyone's got a dark side, and it's literally how you utilize those energies that determine not only your outcome but the way that, you know, others see you and all the rest of it. So this particular divine masculine, they are very, very much concerned about the way that others do see them, though. So it is coming out here as a little bit of the shadow side, especially with the devil energy being here also. So the divine masculine is currently wrestling with a lot of things when it pertains to this connection. Because again, with it being so out of the box, there's a lot of restrictions that have been placed on the divine masculine energy. Excuse me, my throat is just playing up massively ever since I started getting into the restrictions that the divine masculine energy is facing. So go figure, the divine masculine feels that they are unable to communicate what is going on with them because of the restrictions that society or their society has placed on them. So yeah, I'm still very much seeing this battle between heart and mind, this battle between fantasy and reality, and it's really playing in to the current pessimistic vibes that the divine masculine is feeling. There's something here that requires them to break through their current structure. So again, there's something here that is going to require them to break the rules. And again, they're really, really struggling with that aspect. At the moment, the divine masculine is standing in their own power. Even though they are facing all of these restrictions and really, really harsh times, to be fair, they're still, on the face of it, standing in their own power. There is something here about communication, and they are furthering their knowledge also. I'm just looking really closely at this Emperor card. Is with the symbols in this card. They are curious, about learning more, so they're not too set in their ways. Again, there is so much conflict in the Divine Masculine's energy at the moment. It's really quite unnerving to try and read this energies. At the forefront, the Divine Masculine here is very, very focused on money and their own abundance and their own growth. They have certainly been looking into more of the spiritual side of life. I'm just noticing with the green orb and then the blue, sort of like a chakra crystal. So if you just give me a second, because I'm not very good at my chakras. That's looking to me like it's the solar plexus chakra. And that particular chakra is the element of fire, and it pertains to the right to act. It deals with issues of power and vitality, and is actually blocked off by shame. So yeah, the Divine Masculine here is, I say struggling because of all the conflict that's currently in their energy. There's more sort of internal conflict, and then external conflict is a sort of, they're not in balance, and they feel that it's a struggle for them here to act on their desires, on their want to communicate, more importantly, with that being blue as well. And the blues in tarot pertain to your subconscious and your communication. And the subconscious is, it is popping up here a couple of times in this read with the moon, the star, the high priestess. Yeah, so it's already here a few times in this energies. So with it being with the Knight of Cups, that's a it's like a romantic invitation. It's reiterating the message between the heart and the mind and the norms of society. With the High Priestess being the card that is central to the Divine Masculine's read, I'm feeling this more of the Divine Feminine's energy. So Divine Feminine, you are very, very much in the heart and mind of the Divine Masculine, and they're literally trying to battle through their own blockages and the things that are currently being expected of them, to move their way towards you, basically, and to bring them their cup of emotion. There's also something here that is still very, very secret about their emotions towards you, Divine Feminine. Just looking there at the moons, there's a very sort of secret love here. But Divine Feminine, you've been feeling this anyway, because you are the Divine Feminine energy. So you've been subconsciously picking up on the clues and the hints and the little niggles that don't quite make sense on the physical realm, but behind the veil with the High Priestess, it makes perfect sense. So there is very much a transformation here that is happening within this particular dynamic, and there's an acknowledgement also in the Divine Masculine's energy that that there is more to this connection than initially meets the eye, with the High Priestess being the card that is central to the Divine Masculine's energy. So the Divine Masculine they have been turning more towards the sort of spiritual side and wondering at what point are they in too deep. So there's a bit of fear here as well, and there's quite a lot of misunderstandings that surround spiritualism. Spiritualism is somehow bad or dangerous, or, I mean, you know how the old assumptions go. That there is a vibe of that here that is also restricting the divine masculine. That hasn't stopped them from at least taking a peek. That is definitely here. Now, with the Devil card being here, again, I don't always make the assumption that the Devil card is a bad card. I always say it literally depends on whatever else is near it or around it, whatever. This particular Devil card is indicating a sexual need here, so that there's something that pertains to lust and passion, and you know, it's that raw human side basically, because we see it sitting here with the Sun, the Seven of Coins, the Eight of Cups in reverse, the High Priestess, and the Nine of Coins. So it's there is literally nothing bad around this particular card. In fact, with the Sun being right above it, it indicates that the divine masculine is really, really wanting their divine feminine in all of the ways, physically, emotionally, mentally. The divine masculine is literally just wanting to express their love and their passion towards the divine feminine. They also feel here that they've been very, very patient. They feel that while they have a certain amount of happiness with their life, they still feel that something is missing, and the thing that is missing is the divine feminine. So it's like, it's literally the missing piece of the puzzle. See, we've got it again there with the Nine of Coins. That's someone who is reasonably happy with their position in life. It's literally just that one thing that they feel is missing. There's something else here as well with the divine masculine's current energy towards the divine feminine. They are feeling really, they're very wary about approaching the divine feminine. They're worried in case it goes badly for them, is basically what I'm seeing, and that has played heavily also into why the divine masculine has been waiting before they say or do anything. Again, with it being such an intense connection, there is always the question of, is this real or am I just imagining it? And it's literally, the divine masculine is trying to work through what parts are reality and what bits they might have been overthinking. So it's really, really difficult for the divine masculine to try and make sense of the connection. And some of them feel that they owe you an apology as well, divine feminine, with the Page of Cups being there. This particular divine masculine they feel really inexperienced when it comes down to emotions, with that being a Page of Cups as well. So it's really playing into their lack of confidence here. It's like they don't feel experienced enough in love, and that's why they feel really self-conscious about approaching the divine feminine. Is a really interesting dynamic, and that certainly does indicate that the divine masculine is that they still have a little bit of the journey yet to go, because from my understanding of the twin flame dynamic, it's to sort of approach each other more equally and balanced than that. But there's definitely, with that being there, it's certainly, it's not doing the Divine Masculine any favours anyway. We've got the Eight of Cups here that's in reverse, so this is indicating that at some point or other somebody walked away from their twin flame connection, and it's left the Divine Masculine in a situation where if it was them that walked away, they're definitely wanting to come back. And of course, if it was the Divine Feminine that walked away, then they're not wanting the situation to end, basically. They don't want the connection to end. And that there's also a lot of overthinking as well with the Nine of Swords, so it's been very stressful. It's taken a lot out of them. They've had to battle between heart and mind, and then they've had to battle between what they want and what is expected of them. So it's like it's a constant battle, but they do know that their happiness is with the Divine Feminine energy. It's simply a question of timing. How can they get this wheel turning? How can they get this connection on the go again? I'm feeling really bad for whoever this Divine Masculine energy is, to be perfectly honest with you, because it feels very much like they've got everything lined up against them, and then they've got this amazing twin flame connection here that they don't want to see ending, but they don't know how to nurture it either. They don't know how to approach the connection. They're scared that they're not going to match up to the Divine Feminine standards here, because this particular Divine Masculine energy sees that their Divine Feminine has actually got a lot, they've got really high standards here, and they've also probably even witnessed the Divine Feminine putting up their barriers with others in the past, and it's like they don't want to feel the sharp end of that sword, basically. So it's very, very careful maneuvering towards the Divine Feminine here. In the actions that the Divine Masculine potentially will take towards the Divine Feminine is the Six of Swords, the King of Coins, the Moon and the Star. It's also worth mentioning here that we've got the Sun, the Moon, the Stars, the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess out in this read. So for any Divine Masculine who happens to stumble upon this video in the hope to gain more clarity on their current connection, that's your reason why your connection feels so deep and profound and out of this world, basically. It is very, very much a destined path that you're currently on. So just to go back to the Divine Masculine's possible actions towards the Divine Feminine, it's the cards are indicating here that this particular Divine Masculine is gonna one by one walk away from their burdens, one by one. Emotional baggage, things that are expected of them, and the Divine Masculine is looking towards following their own path, and their own path leads them right back into their own power in a situation where they genuinely feel that they can start to take charge of their connection, of their life. Once the emotional baggage has been dropped, they are going to feel more comfortable within themselves, and the cards are indicating that the Divine Masculine is actually going to be really, really successful at moving this connection forward. They're going to be very successful at moving themselves forward first and foremost. Because obviously a connection this profound, it's not going to go anywhere if the individuals concerned are not able to move themselves forward. So it's definitely indicating here that the Divine Masculine is going to be taking charge, getting rid of the burdens that don't belong to them, getting rid of any kind of misconceptions that they carried also. And then we've got the moon and the star as their actions. So with the moon come feelings of uncertainty. It's also pertaining to the shadow side of feelings. So the Divine Masculine has, in fact, although the Hermit isn't here, I'm very much feeling the Hermit energy, because the Divine Masculine is currently going within and sorting through any old misconceptions, any old beliefs, any old negative patterns, anything that doesn't serve them, basically. And one by one, they are leaving those on the ground and walking away from them. Is a lot of internal work here. The moon also can pertain to illusions as well. So the Divine Masculine is figuring out whether or not whether their heart is casting illusions on them when it pertains to this connection. So they're trying to figure out loads of things at once here. So for any Divine Masculines that are watching, then absolutely no rush, take your time with it, and don't be so harsh on yourself as well with the Nine of Swords. That's you're overthinking, being too judgmental towards yourself, and that is actually one of these burdens here that would serve you well to drop. And then the star, healing, nurturing, rebuilding the connection. There is divine timing with the star. So everything in divine timing, providing that the legwork is being taken care of. This energy is also indicating in their actions that the Divine Masculine is going to face their fears internally and externally, and not just about where this connection is concerned. It's about whatever rules have been put upon the Divine Masculine. They're going to be addressing those and figuring out, well, I didn't make up those rules, and they don't serve me. So, you know, there's a lot of energy of release here in the Divine Masculine's energies. Right. So I'll see if we can get any more clarity here. The Divine Masculine, please. Thank you. Okay, so we have got break the chain, a call to heal your family line or to free yourself from living the life of your ancestors, letting go of old family patterns, healing inherited family trauma, ancestral patterns, healing and rewriting the future. It says you cannot heal another person, but your healing can cause another to choose to heal. So that's literally, as I was saying with that Six of Swords energy there, the Divine Masculine is working through the things that have been imposed upon them. So through no choice of their own, they had to carry these burdens, and the Divine Masculine is finding their strength to work through them. And it's been triggered by the twin flame connection. And then Sisterhood of the Rose, a call to notice the beauty around you, a call to spend some time in nature, a call to notice the beauty in you. Beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. Create beauty wherever you go. So the divine masculine is now becoming more aware of the energies around them, basically, and what they are helping to contribute towards. So this particular divine masculine has struggled basically with feeling useful. There's definitely a need here for the divine masculine to feel useful in some way, and again it's another one of those things that they're working through, and they're suddenly appreciating, actually, I'm a bloody good person inside, and now I'm gonna make sure that I am treated like the good person that I am. And it's again, it's that self-confidence here that's being grown inside the divine masculine. It's like no longer is the divine masculine gonna just allow the status quo just to play out, because the status quo, it doesn't work anymore. It's not working. It's never worked, but the divine masculine has just sort of let it by because it was easier just to let things continue. But now the divine masculine is really starting to appreciate themselves more. I know the word beauty, it sounds like a very feminine word, but of course the divine masculine is beautiful inside, and it's like they've never truly believed that. So the divine masculine here, they're doing a lot of healing work and a lot of U-turns as well when it pertains to their lives. And again, I have to reiterate that it's not just about this connection. This connection has spurred the divine masculine to start standing up for the things that they are now believing in, for the things that they never spoke out about before. Things that seem really horribly unfair because they were put upon them and not through choice. It was something that was expected of them, and now the divine masculine standing up and saying, enough's enough. I cannot live my life anymore following the rules of others' expectations. I have to now follow the rules of my own expectations, and that is such a powerful thing to do. And this is the legwork that the divine masculine is putting in, because ultimately the divine masculine is wanting their happiness. They're wanting to express their love and their passion, and to have their brand new beginning in life, and to live their life in the way that they should have been entitled to, but have up until this point been restricted from, according to whatever their family ideals have been, or whatever has been expected of them. It's unfair, really, really unfair, and the divine masculine is now reclaiming their life here. Oh, that was fast. Okay. Right, so we've got guardian of the soul family. You are being drawn towards kindred spirits, your soul family. A relationship that seemed to be held back from you is now becoming available to you. A relationship that is a karmic destiny to fulfill. Wow. So the divine masculine, you are feeling the pull towards your divine feminine. However, there's still a lot of work yet to be done, especially when it pertains to sort of breaking the chains of old. that's not going to be a quick or an easy process, but it's certainly confirmation that your reasons for doing all of this hard work, they are very, very valid reasons. So where the lines were blurred between your heart and your mind, between what you want out of life and what others expect from you, that the lines, they were too blurred, and literally this card is confirming that you are on the right path. You are getting back in touch with your own soul first and foremost, and then the wheel can start turning when it pertains to your twin flame connection. If indeed pursuing your twin flame connection as a relationship is truly what you want to do, because not everybody wants to do that. A lot of individuals, they value their twin flame connection as an opportunity to break chains and to do literally all of the work that you've been doing, but not everybody wants to then further pursue the twin flame connection as a relationship. It literally just depends on the twins individually. So it's just literally confirmation that what you're currently going through is part of your destiny, and also that you're doing an incredible job as well. So hopefully that will give you the strength to keep pursuing your current path of happiness and enlightenment, basically. And then whether the connection comes into union at the end of it, that's literally just the cherry on top. That's just the finishing touch. But you're definitely undertaking a lot of the really hard and difficult work. I'm feeling actually that this is the beginning stages of a lot of divine masculines breaking free from that dark night of the soul energy. So once you've broken free from that's when the actual work can begin, and that is literally what I'm seeing in your cards here, divine masculine. So you are definitely on the right path, and you have done so incredibly well. So I hope that was helpful to somebody out there. Yeah, absolutely be kinder to yourself through this process, and what an incredible journey already. So yeah, if you'd like to book a private reading with me, then that information can be found below. Please do take care out there, and we shall speak again soon. Bye.